It's Mira Business FM. It's the Morning Drive. Welcome to James Thomas, who is an independent financial consultant, and it is nice to see you.
Likewise. Good morning.
Good to have you here.
Thank you.
About a week. What date are we now? We're the
30th.
Are we the 30th?
Yeah.
How is it May?
I know.
This was April the 17th, and it's an article in local media. I think it's a Gulf News article, actually, but it's interesting because of the situation we're in, the times we're in, what we're living through, and it's financial in nature, but it's specifically personally financial. So here's the headline. UAE banks roll out relief measures for residents amid rising cost pressures, okay? And we can all relate to that.
Very much.
James, of course. So, number of different measures. We'll mention a couple of the, I suppose, products, if you like, in the next sort of 20 minutes or so. But it's things like free loan, deferrals, zero interest payment plans, because for a lot of people, this is a difficult time.
It has been very difficult, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, we've seen big sectors of the economy being very hard hit. And obviously that then translates into difficulties with salaries to be paid.
Exactly.
And then obviously if you have any loans, those repayments as well. So yeah, it's a welcome package that's been introduced to try and help people.
Yeah. So in return, lenders have been looking at what they can do across everyday expenses or healthcare or housing or other things. And I think what it's indicative of is that banks are increasingly trying to be more flexible with their offerings. And I think it's fair to say that we see lots of, you quite often see financial products and you kind of go, oh, it's a little bit unusual. And it's this kind of broadening of the product base to try, in cases like this, to help people a little bit.
Yeah, and I think it's all of that, but also it's the institutions actually often in the past been perhaps accused of being a little bit out of touch, inflexible, sticking to the terms and conditions that you signed up to. And this is just showing that actually there is a side that when there are these extraordinary events, that they can actually offer some assistance. They can adjust the terms. They can give a bit of assistance to their customers.
Yeah, I mean, it makes a big difference if you don't have that kind of over your head, don't you? And if,
yes.
The first thing that you really should be doing is obviously talking to, if you do have a loan or you do have some sort of credit line, and it's going to be harder, is to talk to whoever you owe to.
I mean, I think we've discussed in detail previously, but it's always worth reminding people that if you are suffering, there is difficulties, if you are struggling to make that payment, please don't just bury your head in the sand and hope and pray that it goes away. Speak to the institution concerned, because even without this type of announcement, most banks, while they won't publicise it, would much rather help you than end up having to be placing you in default, go through the court process. Because at the end of the day, that probably would end up costing them, from a practical point of view, regardless of whether it's good, bad or indifferent, from just a pure expense, it's a lot of hassle.
It reminds me...
they can... Actually, it's a double win then, because one, they help out you as their customer. You then probably end up being much more loyal to them because you will remember that when they helped you, as opposed to just saying, nah, you've got to pay us or else.
Yeah.
But also, as I say, from a pure expense point of view, they've then got to go to the trouble of reclaiming or repossessing whatever it may be. Is it a car? Is it a property? Whatever it may be. Then they've got to try and sell it. Then they've got to try and take the ownership, then sell it. And it's just the process and the time and the effort, and then whatever they get back from it may not cover what it is that you owe them. Rather than actually just going, you know what, we can actually be seen to be doing the right thing for our customers. We will probably end up actually getting more back
Well, you could be seen to be doing the right thing, but also doing the right thing, and that's
Sorry,
actually
yes,
a good
that's what
deal,
I should be
isn't
saying.
it?
That is absolutely the crucial part. It's not just seeing, it's doing. But actually, as I say, from a financial point of view, while it might delay your profit, because at the end of the day, these banks are there to make a profit. The key word is that it's only a delay, as opposed to you go through that process of forcing someone into default, reclaiming that. You invariably will not get back what you're expecting to. Certainly not the full, even the interest that you were going to earn on that loan, on that debt. But by actually be doing the right thing, and again, in the right circumstances, if someone is just clearly not
See, you can hold somebody upside down by their ankles and shake them to get the money out of their pocket. But if there's no money, there's no point doing it.
Nothing's falling out.
We should do that. It'd be a great Instagram reel. But that's a different idea. But I mean, that's the point, isn't it? So that kind of sets the context of this. But it is possible to talk to, your credit card company, your bank.
Speak to them.
Yeah.
Please, because as I say, they will obviously, you won't be the first person to be in this situation. They will have a process. They will be able to put a process in place, a payment plan, a deferment, a delay. But to say, they will only be able to help if they know, rather than simply waiting until such time that their procedures and a lot of it is automated now. Things will click over as time and months pass by, and may get to the point where you can't get back to a position. Whereas if you can ring them up or speak to them, email them, whatever it is, but communicate with them earlier the better.
WhatsApp.
Yeah. Whatever.
Tweet. I don't know.
But maybe not tweet.
Do people still tweet? I don't know. People do. I'm not sure. No, that's the point, isn't it? So ask for a loan holiday. A loan holiday is not an unheard of phrase these days. And, there are possibilities there. Just to put that into context before we go any further, what is a loan holiday? How do they generally work? How are they structured?
Again, it depends on the institution, but typically it's simply just to take a payment. Normally, again, it's you stop paying for a length of time, and then the term of the loan increases by however many months that you have delayed by. So again, it's not stopping them earning their interest, but it's just deferring. Now, there may well be a fee or a charge that's levied at the end of that, but at least it gives you that window to get things.
Well, I was going to say there may be a fee there, but if there is, you've had the breathing space.
You've given you the breathing space, the time to put things back in order. Wait for the current situation to normalise, and hopefully then be in a position to start repaying that loan.
Well, let's talk a little bit of specifics here, just for a moment. And this wouldn't apply to me, but this is something that I think it's DIB, Dubai Islamic Bank, who are offering. This is direct relief, and this is eligible frontline workers in the armed forces. I think it runs till the end of June. But it's 3-month deferrals on personal loans, on auto loans. There's no extra fees or extra profit rates in there. They're offering 0 fee. I think it's payment plans for 6 months as well. So potentially that's 25,000 customers. But the point of this is, okay, so you offer people breathing space, and this is specifically targeted at people who have been under a lot of pressure over the last 60 days or so. You're offering something. There's a community aspect.
Yeah,
to
very
this,
much
as well. So it's an example of it's an example of the right thing, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
And as you said, all of the above. It's a very communal thing to do. It's the right thing to do. These people have worked very hard for us, protecting us.
Yeah.
And if they need some assistance, then DIB has stepped up to offer that.
So extraordinary times we're back to again as well. So, but the point is that these kinds of facilities are there. There was another one that this article in particular noted, and it's quite interesting because it's not something that I would immediately think about, but this is easing pressure on day-to-day spending, and this is a Mashreq thing, and it's partnering with Toothpick. Did you see that?
Yes. And I had to look up who Toothpick were.
Yeah, so it's financing for dental and aesthetic treatments, basically. And it's not something that I immediately kind of went to. And then I thought, well, dental treatments hit you when you least expect.
Yep.
Or, the toothache doesn't wait. Toothache waits for no man or woman. Or person. Or toothache just hits you hard.
Yes.
And you haven't always got clove oil. So... but I thought this was really interesting, and it's kind of one of those things. It's an innovative kind of idea, but you can see the use.
Very much, as you rightly say. I mean, it might sound quite niche. We'll hope we don't get toothache, but like you quite rightly say, it strikes at the worst, most inopportune moment. And to know that customers of Mashrek might be able to take advantage of this facility, then that's great.
Yeah, but it's up to 150,000 dirhams. It's all digital.
That's quite some serious dental work. But
well, it would be. Yeah, you never know, do you? But you can pay over time and everything else.
Yes.
But what's interesting about this, I think, is it's this move towards sort of embedded finance, where you've got services and the lending is built in. It's that broadening of what banks are able to offer.
Yes.
To maybe ease a little bit of pressure. I know that you have to pay, and I get that, but what we're talking about here, more than anything else, is just the backstop. And that's a lot of your thinking, I always think, when it comes to your sort of approach to personal finance. It's getting all of the ducks in a row so that you can move forward.
Yes.
Getting rid of the pressure.
Yeah, and like we discussed last week, those the 7 signs that you are in a far better position than you thought. And this leads into that, because it's, while you might be moving in the right direction, to say none of us expected the situation we found ourselves in earlier in the year. I don't think we did. And has led to a number of issues, one of them being potential financial difficulties. And to say, any of these facilities that are being offered, then are I'm sure very welcome.
I mean, we've all had to change plans.
Yes.
Everybody's had to adapt in some way, and it's kind of incumbent on the financial institutions
to join in that process.
Their customer base and join in. Exactly right. I mean, one of the sectors that has been hit, apart from tourism, obviously, and hospitality, is property, real estate. It's slowed down. Not as much as I think some people would maybe argue, but there's certainly been a slowdown. Perhaps we were awaiting a correction of sorts, or a readjustment, or a realignment, or a stabilisation, however you want to put it. But I think some institutions are now allowing buyers to secure mortgage approvals at the booking stage. Now, normally it's near handover.
Yep.
Okay, from what I understand it. I mean, it's going to apply to certain projects or certain developers, but what's smart about that is that it reduces uncertainty in off-plan purchases.
Yes.
Which is a really good thing at a time when uncertainty is kind of everywhere,
Yeah, because if you know you can get the loan at this time, when you've got that pre-approval, well, great, because you can then move ahead. Because if you want the property either for yourself or as an investment, but if you've got that uncertainty to think, am I going to get a loan in X months' time?
Well, exactly, because if you pre-book and you're like, I'm going to do it, and then you can't,
then you lose your booking fee.
Exactly right.
And your deposit, etc. You might think twice about doing it. But whereas if you've got that pre-approval of the loan mortgage application at the point of booking, then you can move ahead, because you can still buy what you want, knowing that as and when it's ready, the loan's ready and waiting for you too. Yeah,
well, I first looked at that as a story, and I saw the headline. I'm like, yeah, it's great. And then I sat and drilled down into it for more than my 10-second glance, and realised that's a big shift, because
it's a huge shift.
Off-plan sales are, they're the thing.
Yes.
Super dominant.
Yes.
So now there is that removal of uncertainty is a good thing. So I think that's a really important initiative. It's just important to talk about these things. Something else I wanted to talk to you about, debt management. You're good at this.
Am I? Right.
Well, I don't know. I'm pitching you as being good at this. But for people juggling multiple payments, and lots of people are doing this, of course, what can you get from banks? What are banks offering when it comes to, helping people manage existing debt. If you've got a credit card, a credit card here, one here, you've got a car loan here, you may have a mortgage here. That's worry.
Yep.
Maybe on the same day every month, but certainly within a week.
Yeah, well, first thing is, again, to speak to, if you've got different institutions, speak to them to see what they're offering for the other product. So you've got a car loan with one, mortgage with another. Is there any option to move the loan at a better interest rate?
Yeah.
Credit card is a classic one, certainly. If you're not paying the payment each month, if you have an outstanding balance, is there an opportunity to move that to a different bank at a better interest rate? So that actually, when you pay it off, you're actually paying off more of your principal rather than just servicing the interest.
And look to see you can move it to something with a preferential rate in some way, or there's some flexibility built in there. Yeah, okay. What about consolidating debt, consolidation loans?
Yes, certainly that's an option. Personal loans, i.e. loans that are not secured against property, be it car, house, tend to have a higher interest rate, but typically they are a lower interest rate than, for example, credit card. So if you do have a significant credit card debt that's on a very high interest rate, which is not a normal position to be in, I'm hesitant because it's not really the best advice, but equally, if you can move from a credit card debt to a personal loan, typically you can significantly reduce the interest, but the key is then to manage the credit card going forward. Because I've certainly seen with people that they've maxed out their credit card, they've been offered a personal loan, interest rate has halved or more, great, means I can overpay, get rid of that. But they keep the credit card, and before they know it, the credit card's back to where it was, and they've now got a personal loan, and the credit card's back to its full capacity again.
Yeah.
So again, it's learning that lesson that it's not free money. It does need to be repaid. But if you can do, absolutely, and be more disciplined with your finances in the sense of move it to a personal loan, then you've got a fixed monthly cost for a fixed period of time at probably a lower, better interest rate. Get that paid off. You know where you are. But like I say, then take more control of your credit card so it doesn't lead you actually into a worse position than you were in previously.
See, you would think, wouldn't you, that if you are in a situation and you think, no, I need to consolidate debt here, I'm going to take a personal loan out to pay a card, and that's fine. If you've made that move, then that means you're on the road to recovery.
You would hope so.
You would hope, but
I have seen, as I say,
it's about changing habits, isn't it? And habits are hard things to break.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's a psychology there. How did you, just completely as an aside, how did you learn to be sensible with money? Or were you always?
How did I learn?
Did you make them? I mean, I got a credit card and thought, oh, this is great, and was an idiot.
I can't remember if we had this conversation, but I can remember sitting down with my dad.
Really?
And just going through how he used to, with a checkbook, going, here we go, showing our age.
Writing on the stubs and everything.
So he would then compare that to his bank statement. And again, perhaps why I've always been quite open about money. A lot of people, it's the last taboo. They'd even talk about their health and the most personal of issues. But when it comes to money, he's like, oh, no, we can't discuss that. Whereas, thankfully, it was quite open in our household. This is what's coming in. This is what... And he gave you an idea. What does it cost to run a house? Electricity bill, gas bill, water bill, council tax. And you could see where these... it then became, rather than an abstract thing that these bits of paper popped through the letterbox and then either went in the bin or in a file, you actually... What did these things mean? What did you... And how were they paid?
People are going, letterbox? What is this letterbox of which you speak?
P.O. box.
Do you mean the P.O. box? Yeah, right.
But my point being, it just... And again, which is why I still say now, is a very important thing to do is actually to sit down one month and just look at your bank statement, look at your receipts, see what's coming in and going out, because it then turns it from abstract to the reality of what your life costs. And you can actually then realise, well, what have I spent my money on? And that's how I learn.
The reality of what your life costs. That's what we should call this segment.
That's not a bad.
Much better than just James Thomas is an independent financial consultant.
There you go.
No. Look, I appreciate you coming in. Thanks again.
Hopefully it's been useful.
I hope so. This is Mira Business FM.